I would say this is decent to good news for Clippers fans because you definitely want to hear any type of positive news when it comes to this team in regards to how things are going to play out. It's been a very, very tough season so far, and it's still a lot more to go. And All-Star break is coming up, and, teams going to have to make decisions whether trades need to be made or whether, what type of roster changes or alterations or whatever in the lineups is going to need to happen for them to make the final push through the season, just so they can prepare themselves for the postseason. So with the Clippers specifically, Paul George elbow injury is very relevant, and he was supposed to be reevaluated, and I believe he has. And I think that the Clippers organization, from what I'm seeing on Clutch Points and other websites there, that they're going to at least let him rest a few more weeks and then see how he is, see how he feels, and see if he can give it a go. And that's actually positive news because, like I said, if the Clippers can get him back, at least waiting until Kawhi Leonard comes back, at least they'll have one superstar player on the team where they can kind of contend against some of these other teams they're going to be playing, because their schedule is definitely getting tougher, and they're going to lose games against even some teams that you feel like they could beat. And it's just going to be an up and down roller coaster, even more so than what it was the earlier part of the season. Now, they're going to get some quality wins. I believe they beat the Pacers, the other night. I believe it was 139, 133. I mean, Nicholas Batum had like 32 points. I mean, that was definitely a big moment for him, having a big game like that, especially when the Clippers needed it. Reggie Jackson's been playing kind of struggling to me. He hasn't been playing up to his best ability. But I mean, it could be due to the fact that Kawhi and PG is not there. It could be due to the fact that, he's just not playing his natural position. And I understand that. And I'm pretty sure a lot of other NBA fans understand the same thing. But at the same time, understanding a situation and winning is two different things. You got to find a way to be effective. You got to find a way to win. And that's exactly the notion that Reggie and the rest of the players on the team have to understand. You got to find a way to win and stay afloat. Right now, they're not doing bad. They're in between the 7th and 9th seed day by day. By default, they could be in either one of those seeds, whether the Lakers lose or whether the Timberwolves lose and the Clippers win, or vice versa. They're between the 7th and 9th seed. That's where they are right now. And hopefully they don't get too many losses in there, because otherwise the team in the 10th seed is going to find their way up there, which I think is the Sacramento Kings right now, or they're somewhere near close. So, I mean, between them and the Pelicans, I think. So this is definitely going to be a roller coaster ride for the Clippers, and the Clipper Nation is going to have to be ready for the ride, because that's exactly what it is. You're waiting on, hoping that Paul George can come back sooner and not be out for the whole season. And, you're also waiting on Kawhi Leonard to come back to see if he can actually, get his footing under him so he can get back to how he was before the playoffs start, so they can kind of be ready to make a push and a run. And on top of that, you're kind of anticipating to see, whether there will be any trades or anything like that might be happening, so it's like a lot. There's a lot that comes with this situation. There's a lot that's going on right now. It's a lot that the Clippers are going to have to endure and kind of figure out on the fly, like why they're trying to win, which is very, very tough to do for any team, because you're trying to figure out when your stars are coming back. You're trying to do interchangeable lineups. You have certain guys playing positions that they're not supposed to, they don't feel comfortable with, but they have no choice. And on top of that, you're trying to get production out of guys that's not in their natural position, and they're trying to do their best, but it's not equating to overall winning. You win a game or two here and there, but you lose a game or two here and there, like Jekyll and Hyde basketball. It just really, really, bothers a coach and a team, and it wears on a team's mental, over time, especially with injuries and all these things. Because the Clippers, I said before, they're just, it seems like the injury bug hits them more than anybody else to me, and that's the way it seems, to me, and that's the way it has looked, these last couple seasons. So, you hope that the Clippers find a way to get going and get everybody healthy, because honestly, that's the only thing that's holding them back is health. I think they're definitely a top 2 team in the West when they're healthy. And that's just my thought process. And I think they proved that last year in the playoffs, by beating the number 1 seed in Utah in a 7-game series without Kawhi Leonard, taking the Suns to 6 games without Kawhi Leonard. And when Kawhi Leonard was there, they knocked off the hot Luka Doncic that everybody likes and everybody really, adores and things like that. But at the same time, they found a way to get through those series. Besides the Phoenix Suns, they didn't get through that one, but, they didn't have Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George missed some free throws in the second game of that series that I thought that could have made that go to a game 7 and possibly would have never known what would have happened. But hey, that's Paul George being Paul George. Just what the hell else can I say about that? But my point is, you have to get everybody back. Everybody has to be healthy, because when you look at a team or other teams in the West, they're stacked, man. Like I said, even if the Lakers found a way to get it going, that's a hell of a team to deal with if they're on the same page and they find a way to get it going. If they click, they really would be. And then on top of that, you got to look at the Warriors. Man, Klay Thompson is starting to look comfortable, and he's definitely happy to be back out there. I'm happy for him to be back out there, but that definitely makes the road to the finals a lot harder, because the Warriors are going to be a tough out. They really are. Now you got Klay, Steph, and Draymond again, and then you add all these other pieces, Jordan Poole, Toscano Andersons, and Andrew Wiggins is playing really good. I'm not even gonna lie. So that's what I'm saying. It's so tough in the West. So the Clippers are gonna have to get healthy, and they're gonna have to get healthy before the playoffs so they can get their footing. Because if they try to just come back round, playoff time, hypothetically, if Kawhi and PG came back at the same time, hypothetically, around playoff time, like a week or two before it starts or something like that, I don't think the Clippers would have much of a chance, because like I said, you don't have your rhythm, you don't have your footing, and these other teams got plenty of rhythm because they've been gained it by then. Klay Thompson's playing now, so how much rhythm you think he's gonna have by the time playoff come? He's gonna have plenty. You see what I'm saying? And then Steph's going to be in his rhythm. And then you got the Suns, Devin Booker's dropping like 48, 50 points some of these games. He's only getting better. Other teams only getting better. And you never know who else might make us trade at the All-Star break as well. So you got to look at those things, man. All that plays a factor in. So the main thing is, it's good news to hear that Paul George is, getting reevaluated. And, he might be just a few weeks away from possibly coming back. That's actually good news, because and it's no guarantee he might come back within a few weeks, but at least in a few weeks, they're going to give him a little bit more rest and see how he is and evaluate him from there. That's a lot better news than hearing that he's just out for the whole season completely and it's no other way around it. That's definitely a more positivity type news rather than negative. So, we're going to take that and hold the Clippers to that. And we're going to see what they can generate and what they can do, what comes out of it. Hopefully Paul George is healthy and hopefully Kawhi follows and have the two big guns there and the rest of the crew, and hopefully they can make a run at this thing. But hey, that's my take on the situation. You leave any comments in the comment section as always, and hey, Cali out.